This is the new Lectric XP 3.0 Step Thru electric bike. It folds, it hauls, and it's pretty fast. In this video, we'll go over the features, the specs, take it for a ride, and find out what's good and what's not. But before we get to that, why don't we do a little Lectric XP montage? The Lectric XP folding bike has been around for a few years, and right here is version 3.0, Lectric's latest iteration of their popular affordable e-bike. And this is the Step Thru model, which allows for, you guessed it, a super easy step through to get on the thing. Now, if you're new to the world of e-bikes, you might be wondering, what the heck is the big deal with these things? An electric bike can offer more flexibility and speed than a regular bike. You can travel longer distances and tackle hills without getting tired. And you can get to your destination more quickly, which means for a bike like this, you're more likely to use it for transportation and not just recreation. Now, if you're not aware, I primarily make videos about cars on this channel, and you might be wondering why I started making videos about some electric bikes. So last year, I picked up a used electric cargo bike, and after using it for a few months, it totally transformed the way I think about transportation. Depending on your situation, an electric bike can replace your car for some trips and can be a useful and economical alternative to driving. Lately, I've been using my e-bike instead of the car for quite a few things, going to restaurants, going to the gym, even grocery shopping. And a folding electric bike is a great addition to a car. You can throw the bike in the back of your vehicle, drive to the outskirts of a congested city or town, and pull the bike out to get around. It's also great for campgrounds, toss it in the back of your car, and use the bike to get around some trails. So with that out of the way, let's talk about some of the features of this Lectric. Now, Lectrics are primarily sold online, and thankfully, they come nearly completely assembled. Lectric provided the bike for this video, and when it arrived, everything was well packed and well labeled. Only a few simple steps were required to get the bike up and running. Lectric does an extremely good job in this regard, and that certainly cannot be said for a lot of the other inexpensive e-bikes that are available today. So this particular bike has a very upright shape. It doesn't look as cool as some of those moped style bikes, like the Super 73 S2 that I recently reviewed, but the form here is much more utilitarian and much more practical. So let's do a quick rundown of the specs. The motor is a 500 watt hub motor. It's got 1,000 watt peak power with 55 newton meters of torque. It's got a 20 amp controller. Some other similar bikes do offer 750 watt motors, but what we have here is certainly adequate. So we've got the standard 500 watt hour battery, but a long range 672 watt hour battery option is available. It's got a 7-speed Shimano drivetrain, which you see on a lot of bikes at this price point. There are 5 levels of pedal assist and a throttle. Level 0 provides no assist when pedaling, and the throttle is turned off. So it's just like a regular bike. It goes all the way up to level 5, which gives you full power while pedaling or using the throttle. This is technically a class 2 bike, meaning it can travel up to 20 miles per hour via pedal assist and or the throttle. But the speed can be unlocked to go even faster, which we'll get to in a bit. And of course, you'll need to check your local laws for e-bikes because they can vary greatly depending on your location. And if you're going quickly, of course, you need to be able to stop, and we've got 180 millimeter hydraulic disc brakes here. It's got front suspension, but no rear suspension. The handlebars are adjustable. It's got an adjustable seat, and it fits a wide range of riders. This is the standard seat, but a more comfortable suspension seat is available from Lectric. We've got puncture-resistant 20-inch by 3-inch fat tires, which make for a smoother ride, but of course, those wider tires can offer a bit more resistance. And we've got some fenders here to keep road grime away from your body. Right here in the middle is the display, and to the left are the controls that allow you to adjust the level of pedal assist and turn on your light. And speaking of lights, you've got one in the front and one in the rear. One small bummer is there's no bell or horn. In the back here, you've got the cargo area. It's got an integrated rear rack, and it has a 150-pound capacity. This is an incredibly useful part of this bike, and Lectric offers a bunch of accessories for back here. You can install another seat, though the passenger will be riding a bit low. I primarily use it for cargo. You can buy the Lectric basket or simply zip tie a milk crate to the back of this, and you've got a bunch of room for stuff. Though of course, if you mount something back here, it does compromise the folding capabilities of this bike. And speaking of folding, of course, the huge selling point of this bike is that it folds, making it something that you can throw in the back of a car or store in your apartment or even tuck under your desk at work. Okay, so there's a few steps in folding this bike. What I like to do is start with the pedals. You can fold these in like that, get them out of the way a little bit. Next, I like to bring the seat down, get it out of the way, and turn it around the other direction. That helps make it a little bit more compact. There's a latch down here. You can open up the bike and it basically just folds right in half like this. Oh yeah, actually put your kickstand up before you do that. Bring this around. Down there at the bottom, there's a little stand so it can stand up, and then fold your handlebars down like so. Okay, so in general, the folding process is pretty easy, but there are a few downsides here that I need to point out. There's no latches. This thing doesn't actually latch together, so when you're picking it up, it's a little bit floppy. I would recommend getting like a really heavy-duty Velcro tie to keep this thing together while you're transporting it. You'll also notice that the metal kind of bumps into each other when you're folding it, so you will get scratches on the paint. But the biggest concern for me is that this bike is pretty heavy. It's 64 pounds with the battery installed and 57 without, and that means lifting this thing up into a car can be a little bit of a challenge. For some, the weight might be a deal breaker if you need to be lifting this thing on a regular basis, but to be honest, most folding e-bikes are pretty heavy. And one other thing, when you're lifting it, make sure you lift the chain side away from you, otherwise you're gonna get chain grease all over your pants, which is no fun. Oh my God, it just broke. Cool, I just broke my bike. When this folded over, I just broke the display. Well, that's a first for me. I've never had something break while I was reviewing it. I guess it's mostly my fault for not having this on stable ground, but also at the same time, this is a very fragile piece of the bike that is exposed when you are folding this thing. So yeah, keep that in mind, I guess. Wasn't exactly expecting this to happen during this review. Luckily, I got some shots of this display before I ruined it. All right, let's see if it turns on. Okay, you put the key in the bike way down here at the bottom. Turn it one click to the right, should turn on. Let's see if it works. It appears as though the bike still works. The display does not completely work, but let me just do a quick check. Yep, it does move. Okay, good news, the bike still works, so I can continue with this review. All right, let's ride this thing. Okay, so you might hear a little tick, 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 tick while I'm riding, and that's because I had a car hit my front wheel the other day while I was riding. I think it bent the front brake rotor a little bit, so that's that sound. It's not anything wrong from the factory. Okay, so let's talk about comfort. The handlebars are decently positioned, though for other riders, I have noticed that they do seem like they might be a touch far away. I'm 6'3", and they feel fine for me, and I do have my seat almost all the way up. The pedaling position is a bit different than I've experienced on some other bikes. My legs are positioned in a place that makes pedaling feel slightly less efficient. And I think that has a lot to do with the fact that this is a folding bike. They had to make some compromises to the design of the bike in order to allow it to fold, but that doesn't really matter that much when you've got the pedal assist on. But without any electric assist, it does take a fair amount of pedal effort to get the bike to move, but it's perfectly fine for a folding bike. The seat comfort is fine, but without any rear suspension, you'll notice the bike will bounce around over speed bumps or broken pavement. But these wide tires do really help this bike have a smooth ride, and the fenders are a good size to keep you free from road grime. Okay, so the 7-speed Shimano gear set is easy to operate, and it shifts smoothly without any issues. Now we're coming up on a little hill here, so I think this is a perfect opportunity to talk about the brakes. So the brakes are hydraulic and they work really well. They're pretty loud, but they do their job. They have good feel and stops the bike pretty quickly. And I think that's very necessary because of how fast you can get going on this thing. Okay, so what about this electric motor? We're going uphill right now. I've got it on level 5 and we're making it up this hill without any issues. And we're still accelerating. So as I mentioned, we got that 500-watt hub motor, and when you're using the level 5 pedal assist or the throttle, the bike will get up to speed pretty quickly. Okay, so there's a hidden feature here that you may not be aware of. Nearly all throttle-enabled e-bikes that I've ridden provide a way to unlock higher speeds. So from the factory, this thing will go about 20 miles per hour, and you can unlock higher speeds, and that can be done via a power-up mode on the display. And this mode here allows the bike to hit approximately 28 miles per hour, which is pretty fast for a small folding electric bike. Now my display is broken, so I have no idea how fast I'm going, but it feels like I'm going about 28. Now, it must be noted that these higher speeds present more opportunities for crashing, more opportunities for conflicts between your bike and pedestrians. Now, I generally only use these higher speeds when I'm riding alongside cars in traffic in the street, because I find it much safer to get up to speed quickly than be forced into the gutter because I'm going so slow. But if I were on a busy bike path with lots of kids and people, I'd probably just turn the assist completely off. And of course, you'll need to check your local laws to see what's even legal. Okay, so let's talk about the electric range that you can expect to get out of this bike. Lectric rates it at 45 miles using level 1 pedal assist, but level 1 is so slow, at least for me, that I almost never use it. I'm using it right now and it's barely doing anything. But if you actually want to get anywhere in a reasonable amount of time, chances are you're going to use a higher mode, which obviously uses up a lot more electrons. Lectric estimates a 17-mile range when using level 5 pedal assist, and I guess that's pretty realistic if you don't have many hills or if it's not windy. Now, since I'm using that power-up that allows higher speeds, my range is going to be even more compromised. I managed 11 miles of range using a mix of throttle riding and some pedal assist. So if you use this mode and don't plan to pedal that much, just plan accordingly, because when the juice runs out, this is where the 64-pound weight of the bike becomes very noticeable. But do keep in mind that you can opt for the long-range battery, which provides about 35% more range. When it comes to charging, the bike takes about 4 to 6 hours to completely refill, which seems decent. Okay, let's talk price. The Lectric XP 3.0 Step Thru is available for $999, which I think is a pretty good value for what you get. And the long-range battery can be had for $140 more. Now, depending on what you want to use it for, the weight of this bike might be a hindrance for some. Because of the weight, it isn't all that easy to throw in the back of some cars. And if you live in an apartment with stairs, you may not want to lug it up and down with you. But let me tell you what I absolutely love about this bike. It's been a great addition to my car here in Los Angeles, especially if I need to take a vehicle to the shop, which I do quite often. If you've seen my channel, you know I have a lot of broken vehicles, and then I can just throw the bike in the back of the car, drop the car off and ride home. And you know what? It's been great for quick trips to the supermarket or the hardware store or meeting someone for lunch. And it's been convenient enough that it's encouraged me to ride around our neighborhood a lot more with my kid. And it's great for camping trips because it takes up so little space. Because of its small size and flexibility, it's allowed me to use a bike as transportation as well as recreation. So what do you think of the Lectric XP 3.0 Step Thru electric bike? Let me know in the comments below, and let me know if you think I should continue doing reviews of electric bikes. I think I'm going to, because I've really been enjoying electric bikes for the last year or so. Been a really good addition to my cars and getting around the city. I think that's it for today. Thanks so much for watching. If you like this video, please consider subscribing and hitting that bell icon. If you want to help support the channel, please buy a Hello Road t-shirt. Unfortunately, I don't have any Hello Road t-shirts with bikes on them, but just kind of cool cars from the 80s and 90s. If you want to support us, please do that. I'd appreciate it. Thanks so much. Hope you're well. See you soon.